I got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life I'm in love. I got a song I sing, I can make the rainbow. Anytime I move my finger, lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life's a wonderful thing, long as you got the string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. Got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Hey! Life's a marvelous thing, long as I got that string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. I got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, man, this is the way of life. Hey now, I'm in love, so in love. Come on, another one. Night and day, you are the one. Only you neath the moon or under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it's no matter where you are, I think of you. Night and day, day and night. Why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic's boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you. Night and day, day and night, under the hide of me, there's an oh such a hungry yearning burning inside of me. But its torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you. Night and day, day, day and night. Ladies and gentlemen, call for the song, keeping the great music of Mr. Sinatra alive. Come on. Hey. Night and day, you are the one. Only you need the moon under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it's no matter, baby, where you are, I think of you. Day and night, night and day. Why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic's boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you. day and night, night and day, under the hiding knee. There's an oh such a hungry yearning burning inside of me, and its torment will never be through till you let me spend my life making love to you, night and day, 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 night and day. Ho! I would like to say hello to you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching this video. My name is Frankie Isabella, and I'm going to do a little more than singing tonight. I'm going to pretty much tell you my life story, and to get a little personal. I never did anything like this before, but we're going to do this, something a little different tonight. I'm still going to sing a lot of wonderful songs, but I would like to let the people out there know what Frankie Isabella is all about. My name is Frankie Isabella. I was born April 30th, 1988. And I was born with a very rare syndrome called Mobius syndrome. And what that is it's facial paralysis. I'm unable to show facial emotions. In other words, unable to smile, unable to grin. I can't move my eyes left to right. On the right hand, I was born with 2 digits. On the left hand, I had what they call webbed fingers. And I'm not going to show you my toes, but my left foot is what they call a club foot. It has no toes at all. And my right foot has webbed toes. I got about 4 toes. So, anyway, April 30th, 1988 is when it all began. I was born in Woodbury, New Jersey, and the doctors didn't know what the hell they were dealing with. So, they shipped me off to Philadelphia to Children's Hospital. And when I got to Children's Hospital, the doctor said that all the insides of them are on the outside. So all my insides were on the outside. That's how I was born. So they did an emergency operation, put me all back together, sewed me back up, and I lost the belly button. And at that particular time, the doctors weren't too sure if I was going to even make it through the night. And made it through the night. The family was very, very distraught, you know, because this was my mother's first child, and everybody was saying, how could this happen, how could this happen? And everybody was really, you know, expecting for the worst because that's what the doctor said. Anyway, I pulled through that night. The next morning I was still alive, and now the doctor said that, you know, he's not going to be able to walk. He'll probably never be able to talk or eat. And they said I would probably not be able to do a lot of things. And for a long time, you know, that's what my parents believed. They didn't, you know, they were going by what the doctors say because if the real doctors got the education, they should know what they're talking about. But the thing here is that this syndrome that I was born with is only maybe 1,000 different cases in the whole world. Well, maybe a couple thousand, more than 1,000. I mean, a couple thousand or more. And it's a very unknown syndrome. Nobody knows anything about it. So, with that being said, I was told that nothing, you know, they told my parents that everything was going to be wrong. So my mother decided to take me home, but before she could take me home, she had to take a CPR class and learn how to if in the event I should start bleeding, how to relieve me. So she couldn't even take her own baby home unless she took a class. So she took the class, and like an ace, she always did everything. She knew what she was doing. She was always on top of her game. She got me home, and I was on an NG tube, a feeding tube. You know, most babies, you start breastfeeding them, or you feed them with the milk. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case here. They had to feed me with a tube that was going through my nose. And that went on for over a year. And I was also hooked up to a heart monitor. At times, I would just start breathing, so they would have to wake me up in the middle of the night, just shake me. And I was only an infant, and I would start breathing again. And this was a whole year that this went on. After a year, the doctors were surprised, that I was still kicking, still around. So now they're starting to second guess everything they're saying, but they're still sticking with the story that I'm never going to walk, talk, or eat properly without a tube in my nose. Well, my mother was a very determined woman. When somebody said no, she made that no a yes. And she was determined. The first thing to do was to get me off of that NG tube, because they wanted to put a thing into my stomach to where it would be a permanent thing where I could always be fed. And she said, no way. And she, day by day, night by night, she would get a little bit of baby formula, put it on my tongue, and just let it dissolve. And eventually, I started to develop my gag reflex, which I never had. And that's that's how most people swallow. You have a reflex. My reflex was paralyzed. And she kept trying day after day, and she still kept me on the tube longer than the doctors wanted her to. And miraculously, one day, I just started swallowing on my own. And by that time, I was like 2 years old. And my dad told me a story. He was so thrilled and so excited that he took me out to McDonald's and got me chicken nuggets. And just to watch me eat like a normal child would, he was they were proud parents, and that was all due to my mother's efforts. Now, by 2 years old, I was still crawling. Wasn't really walking like a lot of 2-year-olds. And my mother was determined to do whatever she can to make me walk. So she went to the doctor up in Philadelphia at the Shriners Hospital, and she got me a prosthesis for my left foot that had no toes. And it was a prosthesis that made a real foot. And she got me on my feet and started making me walk a little here and there. And this is her efforts, untireless efforts, every day, little by little. And eventually, I was walking. Once again, miraculously walking, due to an angel, my mother, Maureen McIntyre Isabella. And as far as talking goes, I don't even want to get into that. I think you know by now that I could talk. My mother taught me how to talk, and, through the years with speech therapy, I can't stress enough how much I loved the speech therapist. I actually had so much respect for them because they had done wonderful things. I cannot close my lips, so I had to learn other ways to make the sound of the letter M as in mom. I had to figure out a way. They had to try to improvise, in other words, and that's what I did. They sort of showed me different ways. And then comes along a very important man in my life, my grandfather, retired music teacher from Mapleshade, New Jersey. And he used to always try to make me sing and do the scales and make me talk. And when I was younger, my voice was very weak. It was very hard for me to talk. And he just wanted my voice to get stronger. So between him and my mother, especially my mother at the time, my voice got stronger and stronger. So Suddenly, in 1994, I had just turned 6 years old, and the unthinkable, the unimaginable could happen. My mother, Maureen, passed away suddenly of a brain aneurysm. And I was only 6 years old, but it's funny because I can remember the day like it was yesterday. And it was a very big impact in my life. I didn't fully understand it at that age, but I did understand that she was no longer with me, and it took me many, many years to comprehend that. And I don't want to say to add insult to injury, but it's sort of that nature. But my mother had a twin, Colleen, and they were identical twins. So it was very hard to see my mother's identical twin, especially at 6 years old. It just, I couldn't understand how my mother's gone and she's still here. And they were so identical. Two very beautiful women. And today I had a wonderful relationship with my Aunt Colleen. And she's able to keep my mother's memory alive. Anyway, at the age of 6, now my mother's gone, no longer with me. And my grandfather, he stepped in and he became not only, he was always a grandfather, but he became a father and a mother at one point because my dad was such a wreck because of the loss of his wife. He loved my mother truly, and that was his one and only true love. And so my grandfather for a year took care of me and my sister, and he did what he had to do. He lived with us. He moved from Philadelphia and lived with us in Jersey. Meanwhile, his wife, my grandmother Pauline, she stayed in Philadelphia, and my grandfather was the best. So now we're going to come to the day, the famous day. A year after my mother died, I mean, not exactly a year after, but within a year, my grandfather is home in Philadelphia playing the piano. And my grandmother, Pauline, who always loved singing, her mother was a singer, she was singing a Connie Francis song called Mama. And my grandfather's playing it. So I go out there and I rudely interrupt the both of them and I said, "Hey, I could sing that song." And my grandfather says, "Frankie, no you can't. My mom sings this song." And I said, "No, I'm telling you I could sing the song, let me sing the song." Because I heard the song so many friggin' times, it was like embedded into my mind. So Grandpop insisted that I couldn't sing the song, maybe I could dance to the song, whatever the hell he wanted me to do. And so I kept insisting, so finally he gave me an arpeggio. In musical terms, an arpeggio. And in people terms, he gave me an intro to the song. And with that, he gave me the intro and I started singing. I went, "Ma, ma." And about halfway through the song, he was floored. He couldn't believe what was happening before his eyes. He was watching a kid who could, at one time, could barely speak, let alone talk or get his voice out. So my grandfather was in shock. And I always say that that was like my mother sending down a blessing from up above. And that's how my singing career got started at the age of 6. My grandfather went nuts. He entered me into every contest you can think of. I was singing for the old people that didn't even know what the hell I was singing. I was singing for the Cancer Society. I entered into talent shows. I was singing in school, entertaining the classmates, entertaining the teachers. I mean, and my grandpa had me doing it all. And he was retired by that time, but I brought him out of retirement. He became a teacher all over again. And he didn't know for the next 10, 15 years he was going to be a teacher all over again with one student. And by the way, he says that I'm his favorite student, but I don't know how true that is. Maybe he just favors me. But anyway, by the age of 10 or 11, not only was I singing professionally at different places and venues, I started to get interested into the piano. And by that time, I said, Pop, I would like to play the piano. And he didn't want to say, no, you ain't going to be able to play the piano because he said, you ain't going to be able to sing. So he never underestimated me after that. And so he tried to show me how to play. And little by little, gradually, with 7 fingers, only 7 fingers, if you look on my YouTube videos, you'll see me playing the piano. And by the age of 13, I was playing the piano, and he entered me into a talent show, a very big talent show. Matter of fact, the host was the late, great Al Aldrich. I don't know how many of you remember him, Al Aldrich, the Four Aces. He was the host of the talent show. This was after his TV show was over. But anyway, I enter into the talent show, and I sing one of my favorite songs by Barry Manilow, Nandy. And never thinking that anything would come of it. I was always used to people appreciating my talent, but I sang and played the piano, and at the end of the show, they're announcing the winners. They started out with third prize, and this bunch of kids that they jumped all over the stage and danced. They won third prize. The second kid that won was a girl that sang the song, and I said, well, first prize, ain't no way I'm getting it. Somebody else is going to get it. And then all of a sudden they said, ladies and gentlemen, first prize goes to Frankie Isabella. And I was in awe. I was in shock. I remember going up to the stage and just grabbing the trophy and lifting it up in the air and just being so happy. And then it hit the local newspaper. I was in the newspaper, and I got $100. And at that time, being 13, $100 was a lot. I got rich all of a sudden overnight. So then that's when my career really took off. Because then by 14 or 15, and I would say that's around like 06, no. That's around 05. 04, 05. I started to get involved with a very dear friend of mine. She means the world to me. She's like a mother figure. The great Patty LaTangi. She has her radio show. It's called the Patty LaTangi and Billy Carlucci Show now on Cruisin' 92.1 FM out of Lyman, New Jersey. And they're on the radio station, by the way, every Thursday night from 7 to 8. So you catch me on there a few times. But anyway, I started out on her show at the Carl Reith in Belmont, New Jersey. And I'll never forget that. That was the first night in a nightclub singing for people. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved the feeling. I got such a high singing on the stage. And in a sense, from getting involved with her show, I met a lot of good people, and I also met a lot of bad people. That's another story. But opened a lot of doors to me as far as making friends and making music and doing gigs and etc. And by that time, I got involved with a wonderful organization, one of the best organizations in this area, the Variety Club of Philadelphia, children's charity, children with disabilities. And they were so interested in me that for the first year they asked me to come and sing a couple of songs, and they spotlighted me with a live band. And that was the first time I sang with a live band. It was a 6 or 7 piece band, and I sang my favorite song, Frank Sinatra, My Way, and then I sang Nandy, and I got a standing ovation, and what a feeling. So that's where my career, that's how it all took off, in a nutshell. There was a lot of bumps in the roads along the way, and there's stories for another day. But I enjoy bringing music to people's hearts and making them happy. I enjoy inspiring people and making it aware that any individual with a disability, I don't care if they're mentally challenged, I don't care if they have cerebral palsy, they got that other thing, I forget what it's called, where they're in their own world. Anyway, the point is if you're in a wheelchair, disability, whatever, that every person with a disability, you should never look and feel sorry for them, because if you get to know each and every one of them, I guarantee you that every one of them has some kind of talent. It may not be a singing talent, but they have a talent. So I try to advocate for people with disabilities that it's not so bad. And I know all about how the public handles people like me, how they see me and they perceive me. And they deceive me. They take me sometimes for a jackass. But that's another story. Like I said, I got many stories I could tell you. But I love life. That's all I could say. And I'm 24 years old now. I'm going to be 25 in about another month. And nothing gets me down. Nothing. I look at life as a gift. And if you like me, then I like you. If you don't like me, I say the hell with you. You know, I either love you or I don't like you. You know what I mean? That's how it is with me. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. I'm just me. You either understand me or don't understand me. Anyway, I would say about 7 years ago, I met Proudly. I want to say that she's the love of my life. I have to give her all the credit. 7 or 8 years ago, I mean, we're talking, I was like 16, and I was rocking the cradle, if you want to be honest. I had to wait a long while before I really started, being a boyfriend and girlfriend. There was like a 3-year difference. But Miss Alicia DeCastro, which, if you know me, you know about her. She's the best thing that ever happened in my life. All she did was she spruced me up. She gave me a little spice. And I love her so much. And we met because she's a singer also. One night I was in Ventura's, a nightclub in New Jersey, right in Voorhees, New Jersey, and she was out there singing. And I think I fell in love with her from the very beginning. And that's how that began. So, I'm happy with life. I love singing, and as long as I'm able to do it, I'll do it forever. Now, my number one idol is Frank Sinatra. And everybody, there's a lot of people out there that it's his idol. But this guy I worship because he did it his way. He didn't care what people think, and he defeated the odds, and that's why I always loved Frank Sinatra. I loved singing his music. Second to Frank Sinatra, I love Tony Bennett, who's still going strong today. He's a musical artist within himself. He's a genius, actually. He could sing a song and just, he does something with it that you can't put into words. And then we got Barry Manilow. Back in, I would say, 04, 05, I had the honor to meet him in New York on the Tony Danza show. And I always loved him. I grew up listening to his music, just like I grew up to listening to Frank Sinatra. And I loved all the great American singers, all the great singers like Perry Como, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett, Jerry Val. You name it. I mean, I could go on and on. Lou Monte, Louis Prima. I loved all the great singers. And then you got Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan. I loved all the great music. That's my thing. And my mission in life, not just to bring love to people's hearts, but my mission in life is to keep this great music alive. Because this is music. And I'm not putting down the music of today, because there's still a lot of great music out there, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of crap out there, too. There's a lot of junk. But you got another kid out there, another guy, Michael Bublé, I absolutely loved him. Had a lot of respect for him because he's doing his own thing, keeping the great music alive. And anyway, that's what I'm about. My name is Frankie Isabella, and I'm going to do another song for you now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about my life and some experiences. You want to wait for them stories. You'll love them. Along the lines of how I love life and I love bringing music to people's heart, this next song that I'm going to do for you is a song, no matter what the day brings you, no matter how sad you may feel, there's always a light at the end of a tunnel. My thing is never let a day go by where you lose hope. Because this song here is one of my favorite songs. Tony Bennett did this song, and a lot of other great artists did this song. It's a wonderful song that I really, really do enjoy. And I want to dedicate it to all you people that took the time to listen to this and watch this video. A wonderful song called Smile. And like I said, I can't smile, but I'm smiling with my heart. And I hope that you enjoy this song. This is a song from me to you. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you're gonna get by. If you smile through your tears and sorrow, smile, maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep trying. Smile, what's the use in crying? You'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep trying. Smile, what's the use in crying? You'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. This next song that we're going to do is written by a talented writer, Mr. Joe Ratosa. Another song I'd like to dedicate to all of you. No matter what, you will always be in my heart, and you'll be my music. Joe Ratosa wrote this song, and he wrote many great, great songs, but this is by far one of my favorite Joe Ratosa songs. It's called You Will Be My Music, and I would like to especially dedicate this to my girlfriend, Alicia De Castro. All right? Wonderful song. When the hell is the song going to start? Whenever you're ready. Thank you. Thank you. I'm talking to a computer, you know that? When all the songs are out of tune and all the rhymes ring so untrue, when I can't find all the words to say, or the thoughts I long to bring to you, when I hear lonely singers who are just as lost as me, making noise, not melody. You will be my music. Yes, you will be my song. You will be my music. I can't wait any longer if I'm wrong. Da 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 dee 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 dee. And I'll never find the words to say, and all the things I want to say. And I'm afraid that as time goes by, someday soon you'll go away, and I'll be lost in trying for songs I'll never want. Wanting you is everything. You will be my music. You will be my song. You will be my music. I can't wait any longer if I'm wrong. I can't wait any longer for my soul. Joe Ratosa. I hope by now that you're enjoying this video, and I hope that you understand that I try to associate music with my life. And the songs that I sing, before I even attempt to sing them, I try to understand the lyric. And if it has meaning to me, then I could sing it with my heart. And even if it doesn't have meaning, I still put myself in the songwriter's shoes and I sing with my heart. Music is my life. Music makes me what I am today. But life for me is not 100% great. Just like anybody else, it's not great for anybody else. Life is not, every day isn't peaches and cream, you know. And I want to see how to incorporate some of my experiences and try to make you laugh and try to give you an insight on how I look at things. Well, first story, I know my grandfather loves this story. The first time I told him, he almost fell off his chair. Well, all right. You got to try to put yourself in the situation that I'm going to tell you about. Try to picture yourself there. And if you know me personally, then you're really going to laugh. And if you don't know me personally, I hope that you kind of find the humor in this and how I deal with it. One day I went over to McDonald's. You know, I said, what the hell, I'm driving, might as well start off. My stomach was starting to make some noises, and it was telling me, Frankie, you got to eat. So I went into McDonald's, and I said, I want a small Coke and just a 10-piece nugget. And so the lady rings me up. I pay for everything. But at this particular McDonald's, the only way they're going to pour you a Coke is if you go through the drive-thru. So at this McDonald's, you're not that important unless you go through the drive-thru. Anyway, so I had to pour my own drink, which I could do. I'm capable of doing it. It's but it's a task within its own. So I go up to the machine and I see other people around it holding it with one hand, putting it against the thing, and holding the cup, and the soda's pouring out. It's going into the cup. Well, with me, it's a little different. I got to get two hands like this and sort of go like that, if you know what I mean. So I got to hold it with two hands. I look like a 5-year-old sometimes. But so as I'm doing it, this hand here, the guy is like this to me, and I'm putting the drink in, pouring the soda, and I'm looking over. I see this guy, and I'll say to myself, what the hell is this guy looking at? So I turn around and I said, how you doing? He said, how you doing? He says, what the hell happened to your hand? And I went, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm missing fingers. And the guy looked at me. He was totally confused. And then I just walked away laughing. So if you can get the humor out of that and understand, that's how I deal with life. You ask me a stupid question, I'm going to give you a stupid answer back. I just looked at it and I said, oh my God, I didn't realize the fingers were missing. I better get to a doctor as soon as possible. So that was one experience. Now, a couple of years ago, not even a couple, maybe 2 years ago, I'm in Florida, completely out of my element. I'm not in Jersey anymore. I don't have my buddies with me, friends, and I'm on the ocean, enjoying the nice blue, clear water that they always talk about in Florida that you could stick somewhere else. Anyway, I enjoy Florida, but the ocean doesn't really impress me unless you go to places like Clearwater, Florida, where you could actually see your feet. But who the hell would care to see my feet? Anyway, I'm on the ocean, we're on the sand, and I didn't have no water shoes to put on because I left them at home. And so anyway, I'm laying there and my feet are exposed for the whole crowd to see that it's around me. So there's this one guy. He keeps walking back and forth maybe every couple of minutes, And he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm saying, what the hell is he doing? So finally, I guess he was like talking to himself and saying, I wonder what happened to this kid. And finally, he got the guts to just come up and, didn't even introduce him, say, hi, my name is so-and-so. He just comes out, and I said, hey, how you doing? He said, how you doing? He said, what the hell happened to you? I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I see you missing toes and fingers and all. I said, well, I look down and I look at the fingers, and then I look over to my girlfriend, and we're looking at each other, and she gives me a real big smile, like she knows what's coming. And I said, you know what happened? I was in World War II. And the guy gave me this completely blank look. And he goes, no, seriously, come on. And I said, seriously, I was in World War II. And he starts laughing. And I said, listen, you ask me a stupid question, I'm going to give you a stupid answer back. And the guy didn't know what to say. He was completely speechless. All of a sudden, all the words escaped his mind. And I said some other things, which I can't say here, but I told him to take a walk, but I used some other words that you can imagine, and I just told him to get out of my sight. So that's another experience. That's how I deal with life. You got to make fun out of life at times, because if you don't laugh, you'll end up in a corner. So there are people out there that are very uneducated, or they could be as educated as can be, but they lack the common sense. They're just not smart. I'm the type of guy that if you want to get to know me, and you want to find out what happened to me, you could start a conversation by saying, today, nice day we're having, the weather's beautiful, or we're having shitty weather. I don't care what you tell me. You could tell me that your great uncle passed away. I don't care. You start talking and you make a conversation, and you work your way into it, and after 15, 20 minutes of getting to know each other, then if you want to ask me, then I'll tell you. And I'll be more than happy to tell you about my wonderful life that I've been blessed with. And I mean that, no sarcastic. I've been blessed. I really have, because I'm able to have a lot of fun. Believe me, I had a lot of fun. More than just singing, I had a lot of fun with people in general. Just to go out to a restaurant is a scene within its own. All right? So I hope by now you're starting to understand me. And I think you do. I'm not going to say that again. I don't want to start becoming like a parrot and repeat myself. But I hope that you enjoy this. I repeated that too. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Anyway, there were two birds sitting on the fence. Pete and repeat. Pete falls off. Who's left? Repeat. I tell that to my grandfather sometimes because he tells me the same story over and over and over. My grandfather, God bless him, 84 years young, still going strong, drives. He drives and he gives me hell. That's what he does. But it's good. Keeps him going. God bless him. All right, now we're going to do a great song by the great Dottie Darren. He made this song famous. And we're going to do a special rendition for you. Little Mac tonight. Oh, the shark has 30 teeth there, and he shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has Mackie there, and he keeps it out of sight. When a shark bites with his teeth there, scarlet billows they begin to spread. Fancy white gloves wears Mackie there, so there's never a trace of red come on a twin on a sidewalk. Oh, Sunday morning, yeah, lies a body, yeah, oozing light. Someone is sneaking around that corner. Could that someone be a McNight? There's a tugboat down by the river, don't you know? A cement bag is dropping down. Yeah, the cement, it's there just for the way it did. God has got to get you 10 Mackies in town. Come on, my man Louis Miller, he's just a dear babe after drawing out his hard-earned cash. And now Mackie these things just like a print. Up that day, don't you know Mackie, he's done something rash. Louis Satchmore, Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra, they did this song nice. Lady ever too. They all sang it with such feeling. Here I am, keeping the music alive. Hey, Jenny Geiger, hey, Carly Teachum, look out, you get Georgie, this Lucy Brown. Yeah, the light thorns on the right dear. Now the Mackie's back in town. I said, Maggie, look out, Maggie's back in town. Yeah. And now, at this time, we're going to take you back in time. Mr. Tony Benedetto, one of the greatest singers of all time. Tony Bennett, a little rags to riches. I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. My pockets lately empty, but I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn and tattered, but in my heart I'd be a king. Your love is all that ever mattered. It's everything. So open your arms and you open the door to every treasure that I'm hoping for. Hold me and kiss me and the tyranny of mine forevermore. Oh, must I forever be a beggar whose golden dreams won't come true? Or will I go from rags to riches? My fate is up to you. Come on, give it to the band, give it to the band. Even though I don't know where the hell the band is. That must be the band. All right, we're gonna come into the big ending. Must I forever be a beggar whose golden dreams won't come true? Or will I go from rags to riches? my fate is unto you. Yeah. Tony Bennett, one of my favorite artists. We're going to do another song in the style of Tony Bennett, originally made famous by Stevie Wonder. This is a wonderful song called For Once in My Life. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. Someone I'd needed so long. For once, unafraid, I can go where life leads me. Somehow, I know I'll be strong. For once, I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew. Someone warm like you could make all my dreams come true. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me once before. For once I had something I know won't desert me. I'm not alone anymore. For once I can say this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I know I got love, I'm gonna make it. For once in my life, I had someone who needs me. For once I could say, this is mine, you won't take it. As long as I know I got love, I'll make it. For once in my life, I had someone who needs me. Stevie Wonder, arrangement in the style of Mr. Tony Bennett. You know, in my music career, I had the great privilege to sing with many different groups and quite a few bands, 16-piece bands. So this next song I'm going to do for you is with a band called City Rhythm Orchestra from the Philadelphia area. They pre-recorded this for me so I could sing anywhere I go. But this is a live band, and I love live music. I'm going to do a great song. This is a wonderful song. I think it's written by Sandy Kahn and Ginny Van Heusen. I love this song only because of the lyrics. Wonderful song, City Rhythm Orchestra arrangement. Live music, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I should have saved those leftover dreams. Funny, but here's the rainy day. Here's the rainy day they told me about, and I laughed at the thought it might turn out this way. Where is that one I wish that I threw aside after it brought my lover near? Funny how love becomes a cold rainy day. Funny, but here's that rainy day. I love jazz, and I love the live trio, and that's what you're getting right now. Maybe I should have saved those leftover dreams. Funny, here's the rainy day. Here's that rainy day that they told me about, and I laughed at the thought it could turn out this way. Where is that one I wish that I threw aside after it brought my lover near? Funny how love becomes a cold rainy day. Funny that rainy day is here. Come on. Maybe I should have saved those leftover dreams. But honey, that is the rainy day. Here's that rainy day they told me about. I laughed at the thought it might turn out this way. Where is someone I wish that I threw aside after it brought my lover so near? Funny how love becomes a cold rainy day. Funny, 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 but here's that rainy day. Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I love jazz so very much. And these friends of mine in the City Rhythm Orchestra, here's that rainy day. We're now going to do another song for you that they pre-recorded for me. This is called A Foggy Day in London Town. And this is a hell of an arrangement. I absolutely love this arrangement. And if you notice, I love jazz. And I love all kinds of music, but I really love jazz. Jazz is music. And here we go. We're going to do this song for you. All about a little town in London that is very, very foggy. A foggy day in London town. It had me low, it had me down. I viewed the morning with such alarm. The British Museum had lost its charm. How long, I wonder, could this thing last? The age of miracles, they hadn't passed, or suddenly I saw you there in foggy London town. The sun is shining, shining everywhere. Come on, little instrumental. Once again, my name is Frankie Isabella, singing all the classics for you. Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, everybody. I love the great music. I hope you like this video as much as I enjoyed putting it together. Behind me, once again, good friends of mine, City Rhythm Orchestra. They took the time out of their busy schedule to record these tracks for me. This is live musicians, people. Live musicians. Not done anymore. Hardly. Everybody sings with karaoke tracks. And I like to throw in live music. Come on. A foggy day back in London town. It had me low. It had me down. I viewed the morning with such alarm. The British Museum had lost its charm. How long, I wondered, could this thing last? The age of miracles, they'd never last. Or suddenly I saw you there. And in foggy London town, the sun is shining. In foggy London town, the sun is shining. In foggy London town, the sun is shining. Shining everywhere. Ho! Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to personally thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you enjoyed all the wonderful music that I did. And there's a lot more to come your way. This is going to be just one of the first videos that I did. And this song that I'd like to end with is a wonderful song written by the great Michel Legrand, who never misses when he writes a song. And it's called How Do You Keep the Music Playing? And I'll tell you just how to do that. As long as I am able to sing and keep the music around, I'll always sing it for you. Wonderful song that I absolutely love. Another song, this is another song that Tony Bennett did in his career, and we're going to do it in the style of him. How do you keep the music playing? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Frankie Isabella. Check me out at frankieisabella.com. and get some more information on me. Thank you. How do you keep the music playing? How do you make it last? How do you keep a song from fading too fast? How do you lose yourself to someone and never lose your way? How do you not run out of new things to say? Since we know we're always changing, how can it be the same? And please tell me how year after year you're sure your heart will fall apart each time you hear me. The more I love, the more I'm afraid that in your eyes I may not see forever. Forever. If we can be the best of lovers and still be the best of friends, if we can try with every day to make it better as it grows, then with any luck, then I suppose this music, it will never end. I know the way I feel for you is now or never. The more I love, the more that I'm afraid that in your eyes I may not see forever. Forever. If we can be the best of lovers and be the best of friends, if we can try with every day to make it better as it grows, with any luck, I suppose the music, the music Good night, ladies and gentlemen.